learning how to freely and consciously think and feel and make decisions is not just some spiritual woo-woo concept, guys. That's survival for the future. Welcome back, everybody, to the energy forecast and discussion for June 2022. My name is Jona Bryndis. I'm an energy therapist, energy coach, and trainer. And in these forecast discussions, we look at collective and personal transformations through the lens of understanding ourselves as energetic beings, in conjunction, obviously, with seeing ourselves as 3D physical beings that have to live in a mortal physical reality. And as we are doing this, we are getting to understand our own journey better. And so these discussions help us to put words to these inner feelings, these inner impulses that are sometimes difficult to discuss with other people. So I want to thank you all for coming. If this is the first time you're here, welcome. And maybe this is something for you that you can enjoy. We do this almost on a daily level here on Skype Live. And for those of you who are the regular audience, thank you for coming back and for participating, sharing, and asking questions. I just basically go through the energetic vibrations of the month of June, how this contextualizes in our world, maybe in our societies, in our collectives, and our personal lives. So let's get started with the review of May energies. May was a complicated month. That is, I guess, probably the nicest way to characterize May, right? Wouldn't you guys agree? This was a tricky month. It was very deep. Suggested last month, get out of your head. Yeah, so this theme is continuing here, guys, and we're going to talk a little bit about this. You'll see that the transCODES energy events this month have a lot to do with that. We're going to go through the steps and exercises for self-mastery. We're actually going to have an in-person workshop in Iceland, yes, to learn how to bring our energetic being and our physical being into coherence, how to use the forces of nature, how to use these bigger cycles to reaffirm and reconnect with our own life force. It's easy to understand this with the head, but then difficult to apply. Yeah, and last month I said, well, it's all about applying now. Yeah, so what is it that we want? What is it that we need? What is of value to us? What is worth it, our energy, and what isn't? And May was a month of letting go. Yes, and Janet, you're absolutely right. There was a lot of chaotic energy, but this chaotic energy, if you think about it, was mostly in our heads. And if I had to describe this with my words, it was the inner battle, the mind battle that kept us so busy and distracted. And I defined darkness last time with the distraction from loving ourselves, from listening to our own soul's impulses. Yet the distraction or the misguidance away from who we truly are, what we truly want, and what we truly need. And that then is experienced as chaotic, especially if we try to figure this out with our mind. That is not a very good tool for this unless we train our mind and also our senses and our feelings. And this is the theme of June, really, is to understand that self-mastery is the path that allows us to enter into a more peaceful and more focused a more successful kind of place in our life that allows us to have more clear priorities, to have more clear boundaries, and therefore to set ourselves up for success and not for failure, as it so often happens when we are caught in the middle of these inner backs and forths. Yes, and it was also very revealing, that's right. What were some of these insights or these revelations that you guys gained on your personal journey? Janet is sharing here that you felt that there was some kind of transition going on, that there was something activated in you, but faster than you could follow it or catch up on it or make sense of it. This is a very good way of describing this, how this felt internally. This is how it felt for me as well. Lots of downloads, lots of things that came in. And if our mind is, say, geared or aligned to performance or, any kind of conditionality, or, everything has to be transactional, everything has to sort of lead to a certain outcome, then it felt very overwhelming. It felt like, oh my God, and I got to do this, and I got to do this, and I got to do this, and how am I going to do this? And that, for many of us, not only brought back something that we would call like an early trauma, like something that triggered a fear in us so deep that it was even, almost impossible to pinpoint what it actually is that we are afraid of. So there's this karmic component that got triggered. They showed us the thread through our life, the ever-repeating theme, so to speak, that we try to cope with through this performance-oriented thinking or perfectionism or, the fear of making mistakes, to trying to find the one right solution. And that was not possible in May. So it could wreak havoc internally, in the form of indecisiveness. Is that correct? Does that describe some of these elements that we had to go through here in this last month for you? And for many of us, it triggered fears around our relationships, our inability not really to know what the right way is to proceed, not knowing where we can find this deeper belonging, this deeper sense of value and self-worth. So many of us have agreed or compromised this through relationships or jobs that just more or less helped us to get by, but that didn't actually follow the soul impulse that we feel from deep within. And that is what needs to be discovered now. That is what needs to be tuned in, what needs to be uncovered and unfolded. And that's the purpose of June energy. So it's a very interesting month. We have a lot of energies that are coming in from the outside, which may turn our attention more toward collective themes. You will see this already. There are some aspects besides the war that have to do with safety and security of our children. It's a big theme here in the United States right now through some of the most recent events. We have this big trial going on that is coming to an end now between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, that showed us the dark side of these codependent relationships and how much toxicity this compromising can bring into people's lives. Even though we think that the celebrities, have all things figured out and don't have any lack or any scarcity or any problems with those kind of things. And there is a lot of distraction in these revelations, because we see things here on the outside that are almost like tumors of our society. They are outgrowths of this inner battle that we all perceive. So continuing in June, we will see the consequences of us not really knowing what to fully focus on. Yeah, there is this battle in us that is almost like amplified, through society right now, where all these deep questions, like why we're here and what we're doing all this for, and what we're even trying to accomplish, get ripped open. And it comes with a little bit of a betrayal energy, guys, so you will feel this. Yes, exactly, questioning purpose. I see this here in the chat. The challenging of purpose. The confrontation with something that requires us to make a choice, a very, very conscious choice. And this stands in opposition to our inner battle. So you have to understand that the inner battle in your mind, this constant back and forth, your critical inner voice, questioning not just your purpose, but also who you are, what you have been trying to accomplish, your life's work perhaps. In the course of your personal journey, it all seems so ineffective suddenly. And for many of you, this betrayal energy that I just mentioned may come in form of regrets, or may come in form of feeling that you have been wasting energy, you have been investing in something that is now coming to an end, or that is now showing not to actually lead you to, where you feel you need to go. Now, for some of you, this has already turned, the tides have already turned, and you are already standing at this new chapter, this new beginning. So this was the fortitude that I mentioned for May. That if you could clearly set your priorities, and you didn't have to figure it out, and this will continue to be the case. You don't have to have all answers or all solutions. You just need to know exactly what it is that you are standing for, that is important for you, and that is worthwhile your energy. Because your self-worth is determined by how much value you give your time, your energy, your care, your attention. And in the end, it's almost like a mathematical equation, guys. How much attention do I pay to this, and this? And you will find, and this is the sobering aspect of that the things that truly matter to you, that you never really have the time to take care of them, or at least not enough, not as much as you would like to. Your energy expenditure, if you will, how you structure your day, how you how much time, how much attention you pay to certain aspects of your life, does not actually reflect how important these parts are for you. And this is something that now needs to be corrected. It needs to be resurrected. We need to make a little bit of an adjustment. So June energies have a lot to do with us believing in what we stand for, the virtues that we bring into this life. June offers the true unfolding of our journey. Last month I said it's the final battle, the final battle with your inner polarities. And this is something that you need to come to by yourself, because it is an ever-repeating theme yeah, the inner backs and forths, until you stand up to it and say to yourself, this is enough. I've had enough of this. This isn't getting me anywhere. And when you can muster the courage to do that, something extremely important happens in your energy. It unfolds a higher level of congruence. Congruence is when what you think, what you feel, what you sense, what you choose matches up with what you are. And that's then when we talk about manifestation, because it is in that moment that you are more or less declaring this to the universe and increasing your energy field in a way that allows you to be absolutely authentic. So every time we try to be someone that we're not, or try to do things that we are not, we are creating a rift within ourselves, and that then lowers our energy. So it's a lot about how we spend our energy, in the same way as we have to consider how we spend our money. These are the main themes here, continuing from May into June, with a big cut in the middle of the month. I'm sitting in my healing tent here and it's raining really hard. Is this getting too loud? It's a beautiful summer shower, so it feels good on my skin, but I think it's getting a little too loud for us. I just have to focus on the own volume of my voice because it's quite loud here. So I have faith now in that my energy can handle that. So faith gives us the courage and the determination to live this life with the grace, that grace standing for the virtues that we stand for. Of consciously trusting in my ability to perceive and discern the truth, the good, and the beautiful in this world. There's a very deep meaning in this, guys. Many of you have had very negative experiences with wanting to see the good in other people. Yeah? Giving second chances. Using your empathy to understand other people, where they're coming from, but not getting the stuff. And I have a very, very important message for you. Your values, your willingness to see the good, to see the truth, and to see the beautiful in everybody and the world is extremely powerful. Don't ever question that. Question the people, the places, the jobs, and the circumstances in which you try to apply that. And so when I talk about adjustment or correction, what I'm talking about is to recognize that all these windmills that you're fighting against, all these outer things, but that's a waste of your energy. For your virtues to fully unfold, you need to put yourself into a better condition, where you're not distracted all the time. And sometimes this can mean as simple things as, staying away from social media or news, or, things that distract or hijack your mental capacity throughout the day, or restricting the use of your phone and texting and the way you communicate with others, because there is a deterioration in that when we act in this sort of ADHD way. There is no depth anymore. And so if you want to be in this place where you can affirm this to yourself. Yeah, that you're consciously choosing to see truth with yourself, of course, but also in others and in your situation. It becomes a lot easier for you to make good choices. So the month of June and the main healing resonance phase are about the conscious choice to believe and to work toward the state, the inner state, where you can translate that into your life. We call this divine wisdom. It's basically applying all these spiritual values that you've picked up on, that you've investigated, that you have found in your heart, and then rearranging your life accordingly so that you stand in more harmony with this. How can we bring these values, these virtues into this life if we are agreeing to relationships, for example, that are exploitative or that are abusive, that bring toxicity into our life? Any type of toxicity, guys, yeah, like things that are life degrading, that are contracting in their energetic nature, distract you. They hijack your energy in a way that you have to cope with them. You have to like exert this energy to just get by. And this is then what leads to you acting against your own inner health, your own inner peace, and especially your growth, your inner growth, like this, what you have already consciously signed up for, namely that you want to grow, that you want to expand, you following this soul impulse that is coming forward. And this is what we perceive as painful. So you have to have that clarity to understand that the pain that you're experiencing dealing with life doesn't come because life is so hard. It comes because you're not clear within yourself what it actually is that you want to do with your life. And so June will help us to see the purpose in this challenge. It will allow us to see how each and every challenge is an offering to provide a quickening to our life force. Because every single time, I don't know if you guys know what I mean, when you let go of something that has been keeping you busy to the point where you had a hard time just getting through your day. What is that, guys? What is that doing to you? It's robbing you of your life force. Yeah? It's contractive. In other words, you have to spend energy to just get through this. You can't really utilize your life force to reassure, to charge up, to bring yourself into this place where you know that whatever comes your way can be handled, where you can believe in yourself. So over the years as energy healer and energy therapist, guys, the trust in self or the belief in yourself is what I can observe the biggest problem for most of you. Because you're trying to adhere to other things, to outer things, to external things. And in that way, you're giving your power away. And that is then ultimately eating up all your life force. That's why you're so worn out, so tired when you come home at night. Why you don't have the energy to do things that express self-love, that express the good, the beautiful, the lovingness of who you want to be. And when you realize this, so the first half of June is quite tricky in this way. you have to make an adjustment, because it's killing your life force, guys. You can't allow that to happen. That is a choice too. Last month I talked about how we become silently complicit with the system that is set up for us to waste our energy on other things. Due to the power of this consciousness, I can see how my journey correlates with a greater purpose, with a greater rhythm and cycle, a cosmic evolution. We're not just here to survive our lives. It is in my divine nature to grow beyond my ego's defenses, which would be just trying to win over the struggle of life, and instead become an active participant and co-creator of my reality. That is, in this spiritually poetic way, the purpose of June energies. And it will come with a few challenges. The month of June is split into halves. The first 2 weeks that we are entering now, which still have the themes from May going pregnant in us. And it will trigger the extremes in us. Elation on one hand and absolute shame and defeat perhaps on the other hand. And that's something that we need to learn to juggle. That's self-mastery, guys. We need to know how to direct our energies. We need to know how to gain control over our thinkingness. We need to learn how to focus on the expression of our emotions. We need to learn how to master our sensory input, right? All the stuff that we perceive and what it triggers in us, these hardwires. And we need to learn how to form this into a conscious choice, into a conscious will. And that will be done in May through a continued letting go. Through a continued letting go of exactly that which has been standing in the way. And you know what that is, guys? It's our specialness. It's our pride. Instead of, and this is then the beauty of the second part of June, opening our heart, communing with others, admitting that we need help, or admitting that things aren't panning out the way we've planned them, or not as fast as we've planned them, or that we that we bit too big of a chunk for ourselves, that we overcommitted, and opening ourselves up and seeking affirmation in cooperation, in working together, in recognizing that we are all on the same journey. We all want the same things. And this will become very aware to us here in June, what that is. We all want home, the feeling of home, belonging, peace, and lovingness around us. We all want this, guys, and we all have the same fears. Maybe that we don't get it, that there's not enough out there, there's not enough lovingness or home or belonging out there. And you can hear this when I say it this way, right? This is how our mind thinks, but it's irrational. And why is this irrational? Because it's something that we're trying to find on the outside. It's like we're trying to find our own soul in someone else. Or something else, for that matter. We're all afraid of the same things. Rejection, getting kicked out of the tribe, not being validated, being scolded, feeling guilty, feeling ashamed. We're all afraid of the same thing, guys. So this letting go here in June has a lot to do with us understanding the true purpose of our journey. The true purpose of our journey is to recognize what these true needs, true wants, and true heart's desires are. And that is what connects us with others. So if we can let go of our pride this month, if we can tune into the self-belief and overcome our inner negativity, we will experience unexpected courage, unexpected reassurance and affirmation through others. So it's a wonderful month to socialize. It's a wonderful month to go out to travel, although there are some aspects here in the beginning and middle of June that can come our way that can make it a little more difficult. So it's probably better to travel to at the end of June. So Iceland is timed according to this, because there's a period that comes in right at the end of June into the first week of July that is extremely prosperous, extremely clear, and extremely abundant. Yeah. So what we need to tune into is to how we can get to these things that truly matter to us, to these values, and that then allow us to express our own virtues in an unhindered way. Sometimes by offering it to others, yeah, not just to seeking it somewhere, but also to open our house, to be more social, to invite people over to dinners, to do bonfires outside, to do a gardening project with others, or play games, whatever it is that you like doing, yeah, that helps you to socialize. But not because you want to get something, but because you want to offer something. You want to offer the clarity of what it is that you stand for, so that people see you in the way that you truly are and what your virtues are. This is the power of June. So you need to focus on your own sovereignty on one hand, which is, stop externalizing your powers. But at the same time, also being open for outer connections. And for some of you who have been isolating a little bit, not just due to COVID, but overall, recognizing that we live in a society that is a bit hostile, yeah, as far as say true expression is concerned. Yeah, maybe you live in an environment where people make fun of you, or where they roll their eyes, or think that you're space cadet or nut job, right? So you've turned inward. You need to come out. You need to make at least one step out of your comfort zone here, so that you can recognize the true and the good and the beautiful in this world, because it's there. It's right there at your doorstep. Yeah. So have clear priorities here in June, and understand that you don't have to have everything figured out at once. You just need to have your priorities straight. Yeah. And then see your journey in these steps and cycles and rhythms. Focus on the things that increase your capacity. Your capacity for love, your capacity for connecting with others, your capacity to be creative, your capacity to perceive your true soul's impulse more clearly. And this can then help you to recognize what it is that needs to be adjusted. So for the collective, June is an extremely big month, guys. Yeah, these next 3 months, very, very big karmic adjustments are coming our way. There's very old cycles and rhythms that are playing out right now. And so, we're looking at big changes, not just inflation and supply blockchain issues and stuff like that. No, there's bigger changes. And I wouldn't be surprised if this month, June, is also a month where we, especially around the 10th, 11th, 12th of June, get information, like in the news or through some kind of discovery. So there's a lot of discovery, arts, creativity, and so forth here in the whole month. But that almost forces us to rewrite our history. So there's a lot of UFO stuff going on right now that I am literally just waiting to be revealed. And maybe it's not as you think, so keep your mind open here, because when we're a bit preoccupied with alien stuff, maybe it has something to do with the history of our planet, something along those lines. So it's a big new energy that is coming in that forces us to step into really understanding who we are as humans here on this planet Earth. That's what I meant with these subjects, these themes in June are bigger. They're bigger than ourselves. May was very personal. June is bigger again. So having faith in ourselves and these soul impulses that come in is then ultimately what allows us to access our full capacity. What allows us to remove all the blocks and barriers so that we can feel this power expressed in our life force. And so one more time, if you want to experience this firsthand, there will be techniques that I am showing you in Iceland. And obviously my own homeland will help me to do this, because as someone who was born into this, not just karmically, but also physically, I'm aligned to these forces. It's easy for me to see that. And I'm going to share this with you. This is particularly interesting for those of you who are planning on joining my new energy healer and energy coach classes, coming up here in these next 2 years. Yes, it's literally 2 years divided in semesters. So we're starting with the beginning classes here right after summer and September 1st. And those of you who come to Iceland get 50% discount for those healer courses, because even though the healer and energy coach classes are geared to remote energy, reading energies and helping people, assisting people in reading their own energies and sorting all this, there are some things that I can show you in person. Once a year I do this, and we haven't been able to do this the last 2 years, so I'm particularly excited. That will help you on this journey as a healer, as a practitioner, as a doctor, as a therapist, because we all are connected in this way that our hearts interact with another. And remote energy healing is nothing but amplifying that heart field that we all carry around with us. But for a healer or anyone in the healing arts to do this effectively without absorbing too much from the other, without sympathizing in a way that there's a transference of pain, we need to physically experience this, what our heart feels, what it feels like when we are in our heart. So let me walk you through a few important dates here for June real quick, and then I'm open for questions or comments from you. So these last couple of days here, these last days of May and the first days of June, are quite explosive in their energetic nature. This may not be visible for you as of right now, but there is big stuff unfolding. And I don't want to point fingers at school shootings and all this unnecessary war making and so forth. We all know it's there, okay? But there is more. Here it's deeper, and this has to do with mind control and how media and governments are gearing us toward giving our powers up, toward externalizing our powers. So there is a lot of that going on here in the first week of June, and it won't be pretty, guys. And I mentioned this in the energy update for week 22. Self-deceit, self-deception is the biggest darkness of all. And there are powers out there that know how to use our own self-deception against us. Another reason why we need to learn how to tune into our higher thinking via our energy awareness and consciousness training, guys. This is literally a survival skill. So these next 2 weeks will be quite strong in this way. Toward the middle of the month, we will then experience a forward momentum, and it will feel a little lighter. There still is a bit of a conflict there, but latest around the summer solstice, or the solstice, for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, is the winter solstice. The solstices are very big events for us energetically sensitive people, because it's the big shift change. Yeah, there's obviously the eclipses where there is a gear shift. Yeah, but then there is the solstices, the summer and the winter solstice, where there is a shift change. It's a completely different process that the earth enters into, and with it also the etheric forces that are operating in it. Yeah, and the summer solstice is the representation of the refined, the healed masculine energy. Yeah. In other words, it is the energy that brings things into manifestation, but only if it is adjusted. Yeah, if it is toxic, if it is unhealed, it brings big turmoil. Yeah, and so we are obviously, seeing our personal journey in these layers within ourselves, and also in conjunction with cosmic evolution, yeah, on the level of our tribe, on the level of our nation, on the level of our culture, our societies, and the seasons. So there is something very big that happens here around the summer solstice on the 21st of June. And that then helps us to recognize the true value of belonging, the true value of home, the feeling of home. So important for you. It's a really good time, yeah, to pay more attention to the things that make you feel secure. Family, friends, good food, pets. Really good time for this. Yeah, and then to the last week of June, 28th onward. Really beautiful 2 weeks, yeah, into July. New endeavors, new support based on the choices, the conscious choices that you've made, based on your ability to stand in your own values and choose what you want your life to be. But in order to make this work for us, we have to make a conscious choice, guys. If we just complain and energize the victim in us, guess what that does to your life force? It externalizes your power. You're basically telling yourself that you cannot believe in yourself, and that it's not in your power, and that you can't do anything about it. Which is why that needs to stop. Yeah, that's part of this letting go, is that we stop these narratives again. Learning how to freely and consciously think and feel and make decisions is not just some spiritual woo-woo concept, guys. That's survival for the future. So with that, I would like to leave you into the month of June. Obviously, we have these continued energy updates every Friday, and we have energy talks. If you look at the transCODES energy calendar, you'll see that there's something very unique about this month, namely that I have more or less 2 free Connect with Your True Self sessions this month. So we will have our regular monthly Connect with Your True Self on the 16th of June, but then there will be another one, and that is the one right on the solstice, at the peak of the solstice on June 21st, which is called Connect with Your Soul Self. And that one will then help you energetically to experience this from within yourself. Obviously, we also have bigger events, workshops, and intensives going on. You can all be booked if you want to be part of this. Big theme here is codependency in this month, and our marathon at the end of the month, the Grace Soul Integrity, will be facilitated from Iceland. And so will some of the energy talks and energy updates, because I will be there a little earlier and stay a little longer. So I'm very excited. And a big shout out again. Please consider coming to Iceland and joining me with the group of people that make that conscious choice as well. People from all over the world. I'm very, very excited, guys. And I can't wait to see how this unfolds. The next forecast discussion for July will actually be from there. So I'm wishing you a fantastic June. I hope that you will be able to connect with what increases your capacity and what helps you to really resurrect your life force. Yeah, and I'm happy to assist you with this. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Faith. To the love and peace within, I dedicate myself. I am one with my true self, the part in me that is unchanging, eternal, and infinite. I embrace change as evolutionary path of my being, and have faith in my true self to guide me on how to unfold my highest potential in harmony with the inner experience of my soul journey. I accept all experiences as learning experience and feel nothing but gratitude for any opportunity to grow. Each and every challenge is an offering to provide a quickening of my life force. Through challenges, I can experience the power of my spiritual autonomy firsthand and learn that there is nothing to fear but the prison of my own ego self's limitation that deceives me into believing that I am powerless. I am the sovereign of my life's experience. Due to the power of this consciousness, I can see how my journey correlates with the cosmic evolution. It is in my divine nature to grow beyond my ego's defenses and become an active participant and co-creator of my reality. Faith gives me the courage and determination to live this life with the grace of consciously trusting in my ability to perceive and discern the truth, the good, and the beautiful in this world. My faith also allows me to surrender the fear of my own darkness that originates in the unknown future. By showing me new ways to unfold the inner power, I can experience how faith, love, and hope can be vital and practical ways for overcoming the fear of loss. They allow me to experience my soul self firsthand and show me the truth of my nature through my heart's purity. I consciously choose to believe and work towards the divine wisdom that I can feel in my inner silence. Because in there I can feel the presence of this true love emanating from my liberated heart, and remember that this is the one true power that brought me into existence. I humbly recognize how all sicknesses of the human soul are essentially the pain of not having faith in this love. And I therefore consciously choose to refuse a reality without this life-giving power at the center of it. I am willing to embrace all learning as part of the journey to internalize this wisdom and become willing to strive for the conscious experience of my higher powers in motion. The true wisdom of my journey can be understood if I allow all feelings and emotions to be there, recognizing that growth comes through breathing through my fear, emptiness, and ego struggles. For this wisdom to unfold in me, I consciously align my perception to my heart's navigator. Yes, I want to feel when I am reacting to inner triggers. I want to feel when I am caught in my fear thoughts. I want to feel when I am projecting or absorbing energies, when I waste my energy on negativity, and especially when I am acting against my own inner health, peace, and growth. This is what I want. This is what I believe in. Because this is who I am now. I want to discern truth, live freedom, and become love. So that I can make better choices for my future and know when to stop wasting my energy and depleting myself with inner and outer battles. Through the power of this higher knowing, I herewith clear all attachments, limitations, energetic ties, and karmic binds in any dimension or time to any person, entity, or ego illusion. Nothing and no one has the right to violate my integrity or boundaries. I no longer tolerate or enable life or love-degrading energies in and around me. I fully trust in my ability to sense anything or anyone compromising my sense and love for self, and thus declare my conscious self. Now and at all times. I love who I am. True self, I have faith in you. Thank you for my energetic sensitivity, as it shows me when I need to stand my ground and when I need to walk away, when I need to self-correct and when I need to heal. Keep showing me the path to my heart's love and encourage me to embrace and express how I truly feel. I want you to be the voice of my heart. Let me hear this voice that empowers me to trust, so that I can feel the power to overcome all temptations of fear and inner darkness. Show me what to let go of to feel inner peace. And give me the courage to consciously choose faith in myself. Now I can truly rest in my heart, as all there's left to do is to live and create my life in love and truth. Thank you.